Okay. So good evening, guys, everyone. Right. Online participants, good evening. Okay. So let's continue with today's session. Today, as we all know that we are just starting with our revision sessions, the last 5 days, 6 days that we are having. Let's try to utilize these last 5 days for our revision sessions as well as the project part. So today, yesterday I asked you to revise Power BI and SQL concepts, right? Anyone completed that revising concepts, guys? Yes? Online participants? Hmm. So, chalo, today let's try to utilize the entire time understanding revision point of view, Power BI as well as SQL. So, be interactive. Online participants, what are the questions that I'm asking? Just utilize and understand, try to provide those answers in the chat. Offline, you can just orally communicate. Chalo. One more thing, guys, before proceeding with this the actual revision point of view, the revision sessions on Power BI and SQL, a simple question to everyone. One simple question to everyone. How many of you are already familiar with data analytics? That means before joining, before enrolling the course itself, you enrolled in the course, right? AC off station. Okay. 50-50. After 30 minutes. Okay. Chalo. Now, now how many of you are already familiar with data analytics? That means, this is the scope that we are having in this field. Like that, how many of you enrolled in the course, guys? Before joining the course, you are not having any idea about data analytics? Yes. Somehow. Okay. How many of you directly attended demo session and joined the course? Hmm. Just attended the demo and enrolled for the course? Okay. Okay. So everyone uh, after demo only. Before demo, no idea about data analytics. Like, light idea about it. Okay, nothing. Somewhat. Okay, I have right. Okay, good, Vijay. So someone who already joined the course, already you know that this is something we're having. Anyone suggested you that you need to pick this course? Who? IT only. Acha, okay. Your husband is working as a data scientist, huh? Data scientist. Okay. Sister-in-law, data analyst. Okay, good. So what are the skill set that they are using? Machine learning, deep learning, CNN, RNN, ANN. Okay. So which company? Hmm? Here itself. Okay, nice. So they suggested to go with data analytics. Okay, good. Okay, Samya, your husband. Okay, Bhargavi, brother. I took only for knowledge. Right, Vijay. Good. Samya, Google. Okay, brother also. So Samya, your brother suggested a Samya sai. So they're working in IT itself, I guess, majority. Right? None myself. Okay, right, Likita. So Deloitte, okay, good. My own interest, my brother-in-law, right, Siddhant. So the one common thing is if someone who directly uh, Googled it, try to understand the demand, everything and joined, it's perfect. And the others who are again based on suggestions, sister, husband, brother, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, siblings, relatives. The one common thing that you noticed is why they suggested is the demand is there. In the market, demand, good demand is there. That is the main reason they suggested you to go with this course. So now what is your idea after joining the course, after completion of all this 3 months of almost 3 months of completed? Now, what is your idea based on this data analytics task? See, data analytics, business analytics, the course that what we are going through is it's a very useful, important thing. Multiple job opportunities are there. Multiple students are getting good high packages too. Recently, 3 days back, also one more participant just provided me a message that uh, got placed in one company, Camel Q Software Solutions, I guess, just 3 days back as a data analyst itself. So I just asked what are the questions that they asked in the interview. She simply provided that all the questions are been based on SQL. The majority of the interview itself is conducted based on SQL round itself. All these questions, 60%. When I asked what are the questions that they're asked, she provided that list. She even remembered and provided the questions. Joins, natural versus inner, row number rank, dense rank, constraints, having clause group by concepts. And in Python, loops, conditionals, some pandas functionalities. And in Power BI data modeling, Power Query options, merge queries. What are all the options? Even I was happy that she's mentioning all the concepts that we completed in our class. Almost 95% the same questions have been asked. So things are going on, opportunities are there in the market. Try to understand the scope, try to apply for jobs. Don't make it late. Okay. And I'll even update. I'll provide my profile also, LinkedIn profile, all those things the last day. So anyone who got placed, update those things, guys, to me. So what are the questions that they asked, in which company that you placed, and what are the things that you approached, how you approached, process. You can explain me. I'm the most happiest person to know that. Okay. So make sure, try to understand the scope, apply for jobs from now itself, at least. Okay. Don't make it late. Try to create one good timetable from now itself. Almost we are ending the course, right? So for example, it's almost 1st July. If you can able to see first 6 months completed in 2025. Yes or no? In 2025, first 6 months completed. Now we are left with only 6 more months. So in this 6 months, we need to do something great. We need to complete. Always aspire to get a good high paying job, not to get a job. Everyone will get a job. Aspire to get a good high paying job. And that is the key focus thing that you need to, okay? And apply for jobs, create a neat timetable from today onwards. So for example, 1st July, put a target. Within 1 month, July month, I need to complete entire syllabus of data analytics revision. Schedule a time frame. Power BI 10 days, SQL 15 days, Python 5 days, statistics 5 days. Like that, create a timetable, topic, subtopic. Try to have a plan. Try to sit, okay, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours. This last 1 month, allocate good amount of time, guys. Sit for 6 to 8 hours a day. Okay. It's more than sufficient, more than enough. So if you are covering Power BI module for 10 days, so for example, 6 hours a day, if you are allocating 6 hours a day, Power BI within 10 days, 60 hours you are putting for only Power BI module. 60 hours you are utilizing that 60 hours of time that you are putting for that Power BI, it's more than enough, sufficient. You can easily able to clear a job. Trust me. Like that, have a clean timetable, understand, utilize the resources correctly. If you're working with SQL, you're having multiple websites, HackerRank, LeetCode, StrataScratch, Data Lamer, Mode Analytics. Working with Tableau or Power BI, Workout Wednesday is there. If you're working with, say, for example, this Python, Kaggle is there. Import the data connected. Select one resource, understand the resource. Don't make it complicated. Understand what to learn, what not to learn. Create a simple timetable, complete that syllabus, try to complete those topic in multiple dimensions, theoretically, practically, apply for jobs parallelly, go to interview, complete it. Easily you'll get a job. Don't make it complicated. Okay. Put a target next 2 months, I need to get a job. Next 3 months, I need to get a job. Sit for 1 hour, sit for 1 month, complete revision point of view. And don't apply for jobs after 1 month. From now itself, you need to apply for jobs. Okay. Revision, applying for jobs parallelly. In the meanwhile, any opportunities that you're go and sit an interview. First 4 to 5 interviews, even you're not understanding the questions, everything, you'll get an idea. Sixth interview, you can able to clear it. So that is the approach that you need to focus on. Okay. So don't make it late. Create a timetable, start revising all the concepts from today itself. Okay. So that is what you need to focus, guys. Actually, I'm staying outside the country compared to development. There is more demand for DS. I joined it. I'm web developer. Yes, yes, Rao, exactly. Right. Okay. Now let's go with Power BI or SQL. Sure, sure, Atul. I'll provide you. That is what I'm telling, right? I'll definitely provide the last. Power BI. Let's go with Power BI or SQL. Power BI first. Chalo. Now, first thing first, the question is, what is the purpose of why there is so much of demand for this application Power BI? Hmm? Okay. Okay. Hmm? Hmm. Okay. So when you're talking about Power BI, the first thing first, in company's perspective, it's a Microsoft product. Majority of the companies are already utilizing Microsoft products and services, be it Excel, PowerPoint presentations, cloud platform like Azure, Fabric, Power Apps, anything. If they want to utilize one more data visualization tool, higher the chances they'll go with one more Microsoft product. And why? Simple. Integration is simple. As I gave you example earlier, you are having iPhone, I'm having Android. File sharing is little difficult. Android easy, Apple is easy. Ecosystem. So for example, two phones are putting in the same position, AirDrop, files will be shared. Ecosystem. That means what I mean to say is integration, connection, all these things are easy. Microsoft product services. The second point is in company's perspective, the main thing let's try to focus on is cost effective. Cost effective. As we all know that Power BI itself Desktop itself is a complete free to use application. No need to pay any price. Directly you can open that application. You can start working on that analytics task. Okay. No, nothing like you need to do this, you need to do nothing. Just start working on that analytics part. You can able to get that part. Now, in user point of view, it is very easy, guys. Very easy to use tool. These are the things. Okay, fine. Well and good. Now, when you're talking about this application, Power BI, one more important task that you need to focus on is what are the products available in it? What are the products available in Power BI, guys? We are having Power BI Desktop, Power BI Service, Power BI Mobile Application. These are the three products available with us. Yes, these are the three products available with us. Power BI Desktop is something going to explain you. Power BI Desktop is something which is going to explain you the complete free part of data modeling, visualization, ETL tasks, connecting all these things. Whereas Power BI service is utilized to publish all the reports, dashboards, everything there itself. And there's this last option called Power BI mobile application, which is primarily utilized to understand the reports, dashboards, analytics in your mobile phone. The main thing, the key focus area is Power BI Desktop, which is something we already utilized. And in Power BI Desktop, again, we utilize two levels, guys. One is Power Pivot Engine, and there's one more option called Power Query Editor. These are the two tabs that we utilized. In Power Pivot Engine, you can able to utilize data modeling, data visualization, as well as DAX, data analysis expressions. Whereas Power Query Editor is utilized to understand ETL task, extraction, transformation, loading. Now, first thing first, the requirement is, let's try to understand data modeling. Let's try to go with this question and answer format, guys. Okay, you need to pay for it, Sami. Again, access, work email address, service part access need to be there. See, when you're working with this option, Power Pivot Engine, there we covered a topic called data modeling concept. In data modeling, okay, what is data modeling, guys? I assume that it's a kind of a mock interview. I'll ask you some questions, provide me the answers from now. The first question is, what is data modeling? What is data modeling? Good. No, not creating visualizations, guys. See, when you're talking about data modeling concept in Power BI, data modeling is something utilized to build the relationships between the tables. And what is the main purpose of building relationships? See, when you're working in any company, you're not going to work with only one table. You're not going to work with only one table. You are going to connect multiple tables. Say, for example, customer details have been provided in customers table. Product details have been provided in products table. Payment details have been provided in payments table. Now you want to get some portion of data from customers, some portion of data from products, some portion of data from payments. All this data, if you want to get, first thing first, you need to connect all these tables and you need to get that output. So to make sure to get this, you need to connect all these tables, and that connections, all these things we are going to cover here in data modeling concept. Again, the second question. In data modeling, there is this one topic called cardinality. What does this cardinality mean? To store what kind of relationship? Data modeling is going to explain you what about relationships about the table. Cardinality explains you what kind of relationship is there between the table. If you are talking about types of relationships between the tables, are having four different types. What are these four different types? One to one to many to one, many to one. When you're talking about cardinality one, what does it mean? When we are talking about cardinality one, what does it mean? No duplicates are there. When you're talking about cardinality many, duplicates are there, right? So for example, you are talking about a table called customers. In customers table, what is the primary key column? Customer ID. There is one more table called products. What is the primary key column? Product ID. We all know that in primary key, there are no duplicates, no null values. But in products table, if you are having one more column called customer ID, in that customer ID, you can have some duplicates, right? Now, customer ID column as a primary key in customers table, no duplicates are there. But customer ID as a foreign key in orders table, you are having some duplicates. If you are going to connect customers to products, you call it as one to many. If you are connecting orders to customers, you call it as many to one. Yes or no? Cardinality one is nothing but no duplicates. Cardinality many is nothing but you are having duplicates in a column. No duplicates to duplicates, one to many. Duplicates to no duplicates, many to one. No duplicates to no duplicates, one to one. Duplicates to duplicates, many to many. And this is what we need to able to understand. So far so good, clear? Any doubt, guys? No? Chalo. Now, the second question here is, are you comfortable with fact table versus dimension table understand? What is fact table? What is dimension table? Hmm. Hmm? Fact table, dimension table. Hmm. Hmm. A little opposite. Okay. Update me. What is fact? What is dimension? What are schemas? Okay. Take your time. Google it. Update me. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Provide me 2 to 3 properties of both fact and dimension, everyone. You can use Google. Maybe you can recall the points. Okay, right. Now, Power Pivot Engine, Power Query Editor. Okay, fine. Fact table, dimension table. When you're talking about fact table, it's the main table available, main data, where you can expect some duplicates, where you can expect some numeric data. Whereas in dimension table, you can expect some distinct data and you can expect some categorical mixed. So for example, you are having a data set like Amazon orders, customers, payments, products, sales, everything. What is the main table? Sales data. If you're trying to understand sales data based on customer point of view, customer is a dimension table. If you're trying to understand your sales data based on product dimension, product is a dimension table. If you're trying to understand your sales data based on, so for example, payments table, payment is a dimension table. So what is the requirement we need to understand here? Okay. Now, there is this topic called schemas. How you are going to differentiate schemas in Power BI with schemas in SQL? When we are talking about schemas in SQL, schema in SQL is nothing but it's a database. But whereas schemas in Power BI is nothing but it's a data methodology, how data flow itself has been provided. It just explains you what kind of methodology concept is it. How fact tables and dimension tables are connected in data modeling in Power BI schema. Three schemas are the star schema, snowflake schema, galaxy schema. Okay. Try to understand the difference, guys, between these options. Chalo. Now, the one more requirement here is these are the options that we discussed till now. It's okay. But when you're talking about Power Query Editor, anyone remember joining techniques available in Power BI? Power Query Editor. What are the two joining techniques available? Hmm? Append and merge. So when you're working with merge queries, okay, how you can differentiate merge queries with append queries? When you are trying to work with merge queries, you are going to connect two tables horizontally. Whereas append queries are utilized to connect two tables vertically. When you're working with merge queries, you are having 6 different types of joins, guys. What are those 6 different types of joins? Inner join, left join, right join, full outer join, left anti, right anti. Inner join, common data from both the tables. Left anti, entire data from left, common data from right. Right anti, entire data from right, common data from left. Full outer join, everything from both the tables. And there are two more options called left anti, right anti. If you are going with left anti, entire data from left, common data from, sorry, uncommon data from left table. When you are going with right anti, uncommon data from right table. When you are working with append queries, you are going to connect two tables vertically. Try to understand the difference between merge and append. Chalo, if the question is, you are having one unclean data set and you need to clean it. You'll do it in Power Pivot or Power Query. Power Pivot or Power Query? Power Query. Good. Power Query Editor is the window tab that we need to utilize to clean the data. And Power Query Editor is something you can utilize to perform ETL task. May I know the full form of ETL? Extract, transform, load. Perfect, good. Now, provide me at least 5 data cleaning strategies that you will be dealing with. You are having an unclean data set. What kind of data cleaning approaches that you will do? If you can able to find unclean data set, what are the 5 things that you will be doing with first starting? Okay, first you will check data types are right or wrong. In case if not correct, you need to change the data types. Okay, good. Still, you will check null values. You will handle null values or you will handle remove null values. Okay, good. You will check errors and you will handle errors. You will check outliers and you will handle outliers. You will check duplicates. Okay, good. You will handle duplicates. If in case you want to split a column, you'll split a column. In case you want to uh, concatenate a column, you'll concatenate a column. If you want to remove unnecessary columns, you'll remove unnecessary columns. If you want to remove unnecessary rows, you will remove unnecessary rows. Handling outliers, errors, null values, changing duplicates, editing these things, providing column names, promoting it as headers. Multiple strategies that you are going to do. Data cleaning approaches. Okay, fine. Now, anyone remembered there's this option we completed. It's almost we took 4 to 5 days. DAX in Power BI. DAX stands for data analysis expressions. In data analysis expressions, there are 4 options that we are having. Anyone remembered? 4 options that we are having in DAX. New measure, quick measure, new column, new table. May I know what does this measure mean? Hmm? Single scalar aggregated data point value if you want to get measure. Okay. New column in the sense you are going to create a new column for an existing table. And there is this last option called new table. If in case you want to create a new column, sorry, new table based on the other input table, then you can go with new table option. New measure, new column, new table. These are the requirements that we are having. So what is the difference between filter and calculate table? Exactly. Filter, calculate table, both are same. But in filter, if you want to go with multiple conditions, you need to utilize ampersand or operator, and operator and or operator to work with. If you are having multiple column conditions. But if you are working with calculate table, you just need to provide comma and you can able to get that output. Shallow. What is the difference between related and lookup value? With the help of this new column option, we work with related and lookup value. What is the difference between related and lookup value? Mm-hmm. Hmm. Okay. See, if there is a backend connection in data modeling, if in case there is a connection in the backend, automatically you can go with this option. What is this? Related. If there is already a connection between 2 tables in your data model, you can go with related. But if in case there is no connection and you want to get that common data, then you need to consider going with lookup value. So you need to take a call. Based on relationship you want to work, go with related. Without relationship you want to go with, you need to go with lookup value. So based on the simple requirement, get that output and get that analytics done. Now, one more requirement. Uh, when you're working with these visualizations, there is this one visual called default animated visual in Power BI. What is it? Scatterplot chart. Good. Scatterplot chart is a by default animated chart available in Power BI. And what is the purpose of utilizing scatterplot chart? To understand. Hmm? That is the second point. That is a secondary point for scatterplot chart. What is a primary point? Exactly. To find correlation between two numeric data points. So remember, scatterplot chart is something utilized to find an outlier available in the data set. But most importantly, along with finding an outlier, the main key thing that you'll be focusing on is to understand correlation between two numeric data points. Two numeric data points. That means on both the axis, x-axis and y-axis, you need to work with numeric data only. And this is something that you need to understand. Okay, next, when you're working with pie charts and donut charts, when to use, where to use, and what are the limitations? Okay, to understand the percentage distributions, we can go with pie and donut. Okay, limitation. Exactly. More than six. So for example, distinct point, six countries are there, six pies will be created. 100 countries will be there. It will create 100 pies, will not understand. So better we can go with maps. May I know what is the difference between map and field map? Map and field map. Map, you'll get bubbles. Field map, that entire country or state will be filled with some color. Remember. Okay. Now, what is the purpose of utilizing bar charts and column charts? To understand the frequency distribution of data points. Now, mm, there is this visual called ribbon chart. What is the purpose of utilizing ribbon chart? Exactly. To understand comparison, ranking, quarter wise or month wise or year wise or day wise. Based on that, you need to understand that ranking comparison. Okay, good, fine. And take one simple scenario. You are having two tables. You are having two tables. Common column is there. Data is there, but column header name is not there. By default, if you are importing two tables based on some relation, two tables will be connected directly. But just take a simple scenario case where two tables are there. Data is there, common data, column header names are not same. So relationship is not established manually. What you are going to do now? Hmm? Drag and drop. Okay. In model view, you will try to establish that relationship between by drag and drop feature. Anyone remembered what are the filtering techniques available in Power BI? Provide me all the list of filtering techniques case in Power BI. What are all the options that we can utilize so that we can filter the data in Power BI? Slicer, good. Next, filters. Three filters are there. Filters on this visual, filters on this page, filters on all the pages. And then next, parameters, drill through, drill down. Anyone remember down arrow? You need to activate it, down arrow, drill down. Next, drill down is there, drill through is there. You are having this slicer, you are having this filters, you are having parameters, you are having Power Query editor filters. In Power Query table view, you can filter the data, or you are having this DAX options called filter and calculate table. You are having these options called buttons, back button, web page, web URL button, all these things. You are having these buttons called page navigator, bookmark navigator. So these are all the options that you can utilize to explain the available filters in Power BI, guys. Remember, okay? Try to understand these points. Next, what is the difference between slicer, filter, and parameter? Slicer, filter, and parameter. In report page. Okay, filters. Hmm? Okay, parameter. When you're working with slicer, you can able to slice the data, you can able to filter the data in that complete report view. But when you're working with filter, you can able to filter the data based on your requirement, page level or all these things. And when you're working with parameter, you are going to filter the data for that entire approach. Okay, parameter topic. In Power Query editor itself, you are providing a filter condition called I want this country, only that country data itself has been provided for all the workshops. In Power Query editor, if you are selecting something called I only want country India, only India data is going to come into Power Pivot engine. So these filtering options are important, guys. Remember. Okay. Now, when you're working with connecting two tables vertically, what are the approaches that you'll be focusing on? What are the main prerequisites that you need to focus on before connecting two tables vertically, not horizontally? Header name needs to be same. Column structure need to match. Number of columns need to match. Data types need to match. And order of columns also need to be matching. But when you're working with connecting two tables horizontally joins, no problem. If you're having one single column, you can able to connect. Common column, based on that, you can able to connect. When you're working with group by concept, what are the DAX functions that we utilized in DAX case? What are the functions that we utilize to group the data in DAX? Group by, summarize columns. What is the difference between group by and summarize columns? In group by, you need to go with a syntax called current group. In summarize, you need to provide table name. In summarize columns, no need to even provide table name. Directly, you can go with columns itself. So these are the prerequisites that you need to focus on. In Power BI, focus more upon visualizations in the way like why, when, where. Why to use it, where to use it, what is the purpose of utilize it. Visualizations. Focus more upon data modeling concept, very important. And try to focus on Power Query editor, data cleaning approach, all these things, and DAX, data analysis expression. By the way, there is one exam called PL300 exam. If in case in future you want to give an attempt, just give an attempt, guys. Attempt in the sense, not just giving an attempt, you need to clear it. The price of that exam itself will be somewhere around 4,000, I guess. 4,000 or 5,000. Just exam fees, huh? Sorry? Hmm? Okay, you already passed it. Okay, then it's perfect. Good. So what is the score that you got? 70? Ach- Acha, acha, okay, 7. Okay, and the marks are provided. Okay, fine. Hmm? Acha. Nice. PL 300, huh? PL 300, huh? Good. What is the cost? Company itself is provided. But actually, it will be around 4 or 5,000, I guess. Yes, yes. Just give it a try, Joshua, one more time. Okay. PL 300 exam, guys. The exam is PL 300. It's a Microsoft certified exam. Power BI. In this, all data modeling concepts, Power Query concepts, these things are been provided here. Okay. Explicitly more into data modeling and Power Query. Scenario based questions. So try to give it an attempt. As a resource section, go with Workout Wednesday. There's a website called Workout Wednesday. Utilize that as a reference part case. Okay. Okay. Now let's utilize the other time for SQL, SQL. So any notes that you prepared for SQL? As far as SQL is concerned, any notes that you prepared? Online, offline? Okay, nice, good. Guys, do one thing. Before going to any interview, try to create one simple cheat sheet kind of thing, guys. Your own cheat sheet. That means it should be something like before going to an interview, before 10 minutes or 15 minutes, if you are just opening it, you can able to complete that all, you can able to read all the entire stuff within 10 minutes or 15 minutes. You need to complete it and you need to go to an interview. Small bullet points, like in bullet points, you just need to include all the important stuff. Okay, whatever, don't include everything. Just try to include those points which are feeling important. Try to create one simple cheat sheet. You need to understand it. Okay. Chalo, coming to the main point. What is SQL, guys? Structured query language. When you're talking about data, data itself has been categorized into two types: structured, unstructured. And we are working with structured data. As far as structured data is concerned, you are working with structured query language, SQL. If in case you're working with unstructured data, you are having some applications like NoSQL database, MongoDB. We are primarily interested in learning the structured data, handling the structured data, so that we are going with SQL, structured query language. May I know what are the list of commands available in SQL? DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, TCL. Now, what are the available keyword statements in DDL? In DDL, what are the available keywords or statements with us? Okay, create, drop, alter, truncate, rename. Okay, good. Create is something, utilize it to create any object, create table, create database, create index, create view, create anything. Whatever the object that you want to create, you can create it directly with the help of this option. Fine, well and good. Now, if in case you want to delete or you want to play with deleting the data, dropping the tables, you're having again three more important options: delete, drop, truncate. May I know what is the difference between delete, drop, and truncate? Okay, first let's go with delete. What is delete? Structure remains same. Data inside the table gets deleted. You can delete one row, you can delete set of rows, or you can delete all the rows from the table. Anything is fine. But if you're working with truncate, what is going to happen? Entire structure remains same, but the data inside the table gets deleted in a single go. Within one single go, the entire data itself has been deleted. Now, the third requirement, drop. Everything gets deleted along with data inside the table, data structure. The table structure itself is going to be deleted, eliminated. So these are the three key approaches that we need to focus on: delete, drop, truncate. Delete is utilized to delete individual rows or set of rows or entire data from the table. Truncate is utilized to eliminate, drop entire data from the table, but table structure remains same. And when you're working with drop, you are going to drop all the table. It's not about table data. Along with table data, structure itself is going to be eliminated completely. A possible interview question you can expect: delete versus drop versus truncate. And what is the nature, backend nature of delete and truncate? In delete, you are going to delete rows row by row, row by row. But in truncate, all the rows you are going to delete in a single go. It's not the case like row by row, you are deleting it. You are going to delete all the rows in a single row. And that is how this truncate is going to work. Now, one more important requirement. When you are working with this scenario of deleting the data, transactional locks is something that we are having in delete or truncate. Delete. In delete, you can use. If you remembered, when you're working with TCL, transactional control language, we are going to work with transactions. TCL is something completely working based on DML only, data manipulation language only. So utilizing this data manipulation language keywords, you are going to work with this TCL understanding. Based on that, we can able to get that output. Okay, fine. Well and good. Now, when you are utilizing update and delete, you need to utilize one SQL syntax, I guess. What is it? Set SQL safe updates equals to 0. Good. Set SQL safe updates equals to 0. Fine. So when you are working with DQL, what is that one available keyword statement in it? Select. And what does this select mean? Whatever the data that you want to retrieve, read, select, you can go with select statement. So when you're working with select statement, anyone remembered the order of execution of clauses? Select, select, from, where, group by, good, having, order by, limit, offset. Select is utilized to select the data. From where you're collecting the data, from which table. Where is utilized to filter the data. Group by is to group the data. And on that specific group, you are going to perform an aggregation. Having is utilized to again filter the data, but on an aggregated column. Order by is utilized to order the data based on ascending to descending or descending to ascending based on your requirement. Limit is utilized to limit the data to top 10 or top 5 or bottom based on your requirement. Offset from starting point, how many rows you want to get. Chalo, some simple questions. Aggregations, what are the aggregate functions that we are having? Sum, min, max, average, count. Okay. Aggregate functions without group by. Is it possible? Aggregate functions without group by. Is it possible? Yes. Chalo, one more question. Group by without aggregations. Is it possible? No. Okay. Group by without having clause. Is it possible? Good. Yes. Having clause without group by. Is it possible? No. Okay, good. Aggregation, aggregate function without having clause. Is it possible? Yes. Don't confuse. Yes. Having clause without aggregation. Is it possible? Having clause without aggregation. No. Okay, good. Very good. Indirectly. If you are using having clause, you need to work with group by. If you are using group by, aggregation is mandatory. Without aggregation, group by is not there. Without group by, having is not there. Okay, fine. Chalo, one more requirement. Limit without offset. Will it work? Yes. Answer is yes. Offset without limit. Will it work? No. Okay. Okay. Limit comes before offset, I guess, right? Offset comes after limit. Where clause comes before? Where clause comes before? Group by. And having clause comes after group by. May I know what is the difference between where clause and having clause? Okay, first thing first, the common thing is where and having clause both are utilized to filter the data. Where clause is utilized to filter the data on a physical column, whereas having clause is utilized to filter the data on aggregated column. And this is the main requirement, where and having. Now, uh, DML without TCL, will it work? Data manipulation language without transactional control language, will it work? Answer is yes, guys. Answer is yes. DML without TCL. You are using insert, update, delete. Yes, it will work. TCL without DML, will it work? TCL without DML, will it work? No. Good. TCL without DML, it will not work. DML without triggers, will it work? DML without triggers, will it work? Yes. Okay, good. Triggers without DML, will it work? Triggers without DML, will it work? No, guys. Exactly. The triggers without DML, it will not work. Why? Because entire triggers itself is working based on DML concept. What are the 6 triggers available? Before insert, after insert, before update, after update, before delete, after delete. You're working with DML only. Mandatory when you're working with triggers. So when you're working with triggers, DML is important. When you're working with TCL, DML is important. Insert, update, delete. Chalo. When you're working with transactional control language TCL, we discussed these three options called commit, rollback, and save point. Anyone remember there itself we worked with this option called buffer plus. Simple diagram. Data user to database management system to database directly. Auto commit equals to on. If you are converting it, auto commit equals to on, user to DBMS to buffer to again database connection, right? Okay, now, yes, temporary cache memory, exactly. Now, before utilizing TCL, what is the status of auto commit, on or off? On. Good. If you are utilizing TCL, auto commit equals to off. Without TCL, if you are trying to insert or update or delete something, the data itself is automatically reflected. It is automatically going to be affected, guys. Yes or no? If in case you are trying to work with this use case, if in case you're working with this transactional control language, set the transaction status equals to off. That means whatever the data that you're inserting or updating or deleting, that will be first going to buffer place. From buffer, if you're committing it, that will be reflected to database. If in case you'll roll back it, it will come back. Before starting the transaction, auto commit equals to on. But after starting the transaction, auto commit equals to off. What is the syntax to start a transaction? Start transaction. What is the syntax to end the transaction? Commit or roll back. Commit is nothing but you want to commit the transaction. Rollback is nothing but no, I don't want to commit that action. So for example, you are having a table which consists of 3 rows. You inserted the 4th row and you committed it. And in an output table, how many rows you'll be having? 4. You are having 3 rows. You inserted 1 row and you roll backed it. Now in output, how many rows you'll be having? Online participants? 3. Good. Chalo, one more question. You are having a table, 3 rows are there. In 3rd row, there is one column age, data point is 25, and you're updating it to 30, and you're committing it. Now, what is the updated value in the 3rd row? 30. Okay, now, one more scenario in the same row, you're updating from 30 to 25, and now you're selecting rollback. Now, what is the data point that you're going to get in the output? Again 30. Okay, good. Nice. You're having 3 rows in a table. You deleted the 3rd row and you committed that. How many rows you'll be having in a table? 2. You're having 3 rows in a table. You deleted the 3rd row and you roll backed it. Now, how many rows you'll be getting in a table? 3. Good. Perfect. Nice, guys. And there is this one more topic that we completed called save point. Saving till one particular point, until that one particular point, you're going with this commit and roll back. Okay. Now, there's the connecting topic that we completed called ACID properties, ACID. Atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability. You can expect a simple question on this. Atomicity, all the commands you are going to execute in a one single atomic unit. C, consistency, there needs to be a consistent transaction. I, isolation, one transaction needs to be isolated with other transaction. And then finally, D, durability. Whatever the data that you're having in buffer place, either that need to go to database or that need to come back. But nothing should be there in buffer. Okay, these are the key things that we need to focus on. And when you're talking about DQL select statement, Where clause, especially when you're working with where clause. We work with this topic called operators, guys. What are the two different types of operators that we are having? Comparison operators and logical operators. So what are these comparison operators available? Less than, greater than, equals, not equals, less than equals, greater than equals. What are the list of logical operators that we are having? And, or, in, not in, between, right? So what is the difference between and or? Hmm. Hmm. And in the sense, both the conditions need to be satisfied exactly. Or in the sense, the first one is satisfying, second one is not satisfying, no problem. Either of the one. Okay. Now, what is in, what is not in? Exclude. In include, not in exclude. If you are providing select star from table where color equals to color in green comma orange, you're going to get only green comma orange. If you're providing a code select star from table where color not in green comma orange, except green and orange, remaining colors you'll get. In include, not in exclude. Okay. There is this small topic, wildcard. What is the wildcard available with us? Like keyword. Okay. What is the purpose of utilizing this wildcard like? Pattern matching data. Starts with a letter, ends with a letter. Okay, there needs to be a pattern in between. Okay, good, perfect. Pattern matching data, we can go with this option. Okay. Next, case when statements. Remembered? Okay, what are these case when statements, guys? Conditionals, categorizing the data. Case, when, then, when there's the scenario, then there's the answer. We utilized it. If salary between this category, salary between this category. These are all the options, right? So, uh, along with case when statements, we, okay, what is the difference between you just explained, right? Where and having, where physical columns having aggregated column filtering. Okay. Now, okay. Index, what is an index? Index is something utilized to retrieve the data fast. What are the joins available? Inner, left, right, full. Okay, by the way, what is the difference between inner join and natural join? Hmm? In inner join, you need to provide on condition, whereas in natural join, no need to go with on condition. Directly, you can able to get that output. Hmm. And when you're working with connecting two tables vertically, union. In Power BI, merge queries are nothing but SQL joins. In Power BI, append queries are nothing but in SQL union concept. If we can able to remember what is the difference between union and union all? Okay, good. When you're working with union, it will exclude duplicates. But when you're working with union all, it will even include duplicate records. That is the main difference between union and union all. Perfect, guys. Now, uh, window functions. What is a window? Window is nothing but whatever the table that you are having, you are going to partition it based on your own problem statement requirement, and based on your requirement, you are going to apply one functionality on that window. And based on that, you are going to understand what is the data that you are going to get. And the function that you are going to utilize on that specific window, we call it as window function. And we are having multiple window functions like row number, rank, dense rank, lag, lead, first value, last value, nth value. Different window functions have been provided with us. Okay. Uh, when you're working with row number, what does it mean? It assigns a number for each and every row. Rank and dense rank, it provides a rank. But what is the difference between rank and dense rank? Rank duplicates will be skipped. Whereas dense rank, no rank skip, you'll get immediate consecutive rank numbers. Okay. Now, focus more on window functions and go to an interview. Trust me. Okay. Majority of the students, freshers, they are not familiar with window functions. Definitely in interview, they might ask you this question. If majority of they are not able to answer this, definitely upper hand will be there. Okay. And we even covered advanced window functions, frame clause, rows between unbounded preceding and current row, unbounded preceding and unbounded following. So multiple options are covered here. Okay, now, mm, yes, stored procedures. We covered parameters, variable declaration, loops, conditionals. Okay. Hmm? Views, virtual tables we created, how to create one virtual table and we need to store it. For accessing data purpose, we can use views and triggers. All six triggers are there. Triggering some action, error handling, exceptional handling, right? Error handling, exceptional handling we covered. We even completed functions, window functions, aggregate functions, string functions, date functions, left, right, lower, upper, sub-str, date, month, year, quarter, day, right? So different functionalities are there. So I guess these are the topics, right? We completed in SQL. So the only thing is revise, 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 practice a lot. Yes. CTS, yes, CTS we completed. Subqueries we completed. Subqueries is nothing but connecting uh, query, inner query with outer query. Okay. CT is nothing but a long code, the lengthy code that what you're having, you are going to provide it. And what are the output that you are going to assume from the table? You call it as a table, temporary table. Okay. ER diagram, we call it as a data model in SQL, Arjun. It's an entity relationship diagram, SQL. CTE, it's a lengthy code that you're assuming it as a temporary table, right? So practice these topics, guys, everyone. Revise these things a lot. SQL, trust me, if you're pretty much clear with SQL and you can go to an interview, definitely you can able to clear that interview with this. SQL is mandatory among all the modules. Trust me. So clear with this, everyone? Sure, Akshay. I'll explain you. Okay. So most probably uh, day after tomorrow we'll be discussing about these things. Delimiters in the sense anything, semicolon or colon or comma, anything. Okay. How to connect MySQL to Power BI. With connector we need to do, Arjun. Actually, we installed MySQL Workbench and server, right? Along with that, we need to download some connectors. With the help of those connectors, we can connect Power BI with SQL. Okay. So tomorrow again, we'll go with Python, Tableau, these remaining modules, guys. Okay. Revise those things. If any doubts, so ask me. Tomorrow we'll have the discussion on it and we'll complete it. Okay. Online participants clear? Yes, yes, I'll be providing Rajendra. Okay, sure. It's almost done. Maybe one day I'll provide it. Right. Only MySQL can work. Sorry, anyone visualization tool connecting is better, Arjun. Right, right. Welcome, guys. So, okay then. Hmm? Let's connect again tomorrow and we'll go with the revision point of view on other modules. Okay. So, until then, bye, guys, everyone. Good night. Online participants, bye, guys. Tanya, the same one, sample superstore that you can name it as. Okay. Yeah, sure, Akshay. We'll be covering tomorrow. Yeah, bye. Okay. I remembered the tablet topic and that's not yet completed. Okay, we'll be discussing.